Hello and welcome to the next lesson. In this lesson we'll talk about the next commandment, always sell the next step. I will explain what I mean. Your communication with your client should have the next step. If you are at some meeting, you should agree what we will do after the meeting, like action plan. If you are calling to your client, you have to understand what your next step. Whether it's a purchase or just the next call. If you are writing a letter to your client, you should understand what will be the next step after this email. Again, why it's so important? Because not all your clients are ready to buy a product right away. Some of them are hesitating, they are waiting, they are looking for similar products of your competitors. And you have to keep your communication in order to remind them all the time about your product. And they will buy a product, maybe not this month, maybe several months later, but if you will not remind them, if you will not set the next step, next email, you will definitely lose this client. Another reason to set the next step is if you don't do that, your client will not know what he should do next. For me, it's equal to losing of this client. You should treat your client like a child. Always tell him what to do next. Make his communication with you easy and clear. Even if you think that the next step is obvious, tell this step anyway. It will be like a trigger, like call to action to your further communication, or maybe it will lead directly to a purchase. Another important action for you is to create a system that will notify you when you should do some next step in your communication. Ideally, that should be a CRM system. I recommend to implement such system in any business, even in a small one. If you think that it will be too complicated for you, just create a Google spreadsheet or use any other service and write the exact days there when you should do something with each of your client, when you should call him and ask him about a review, when you should offer him your another product, when you should try to upsell the same product, even when it's his birthday and you may offer him a discount or just wish him a good day. It's so simple, but it's so powerful, and very few small companies do that. Just by this simple system, you can increase your income on 50% easily. Here, you may face with a sabotage of this process, because for sellers in the company, it will be like a hell. Just imagine that yesterday you did only one phone call to your client, and now you have to call him 10 times during 6 months, for example. To maintain this system, you should control it every day. Otherwise, all those next steps might be ignored.